Overwatch 2 is a joke, but today it's the whole circus. This is probably the most disrespectful thing I have ever seen happen to gaming fans. Let me explain. You have Overwatch 2, a product not a single person ever asked for. No one wanted it, no one liked it. But Blizzard makes it anyway. And they make the main selling point of this completely useless product the idea that you are gonna have PVE, storylines, maps, new ways to build your characters, talent points, and all of this stuff, right? So people accept it a little bit. And then Overwatch 2 comes out, and PvE doesn't exist. There are no missions, there's nothing, and Blizzard says, well, whoopsie doopsie, we didn't actually make it, sorry guys. And everyone's rightfully mad, because the only reason that Overwatch 2 even had to exist no longer is even there. It just doesn't exist. And what happens from onward? Well, now officially Blizzard has came out and said that they're completely canceling the PvE. And why? Because Overwatch did not sell good enough. Imagine, you try to sell a game on complete false promises, a game mode that doesn't exist, and then it doesn't sell good because the thing that you promised doesn't exist, and then you're saying, oh, that's justification for you to scrap it? This is absolutely insane. This is a new low, even for Blizzard, honestly.
Developers have received 0% of profit sharing. PvE is essentially cancelled, and quite a lot more to cover in this video. Hello everybody and welcome to the channel. What we're going to do is break down this article from Jason Schreier, which is behind the scenes on Overwatch 2. So let's just get stuck into this. You can see this is what he says the headline details are. New, behind the scenes on Overwatch 2, devs got a stunning 0% of profit sharing bonuses this month. And I'll explain, well, the article will explain why this is crucial as we get into it. No more PvE, but there's optimism for the game's competitive future. And then this is the newsletter for the week, which we're going...
What competitive future? Blizzard has proven that they are incapable of maintaining a competitive future. Well, any game that they honestly make. Overwatch was big competitively. It was the biggest thing ever, honestly, for a moment, right? And then it completely got destroyed by Blizzard because... they decided that, you know, the tank meta where, you know, no kills happen for 10 minutes. Yeah, that's fun. Let's allow that to just exist for a year. And that completely killed off the player base in general and the competitive scene. So, you know, well played, Blizzard.
Going to read in a second. He does then go on to plug his upcoming book, which I am looking forward to this because it's like a behind-the-scenes look at what went wrong at Blizzard. And he says, at Blizzard, profit sharing is a crucial part of the compensation process because base salaries aren't as high as competitors. This bonus system caused a years-long battle between Blizzard and Activision that you'll be able to read about in my book, which is Play Nice, The Rise and Fall of Blizzard Entertainment. Okay, so let's jump over to the article and let me just fire this up. Okay, this is the article. It is Blizzard make big changes as Overwatch 2 struggles. Cratering internal bonuses for the game's staff reflect the precarious position of the Overwatch sequel. So Overwatch 2 has not lived up to the lofty financial successes of its predecessor. Okay. Hi everyone. Today we're looking at the business of Blizzard Entertainment's big first-person shooter. But first, and then goes on to plug some news we can go and read. But we're only interested in Overwatch here, so let's break this down. Overwatch in trouble. This week, video game titan Blizzard Entertainment changed the business model for shooter Overwatch 2, decoupling the game's heroes from the paid battle pass. This seemingly drastic move led to players and observers to ask, is Overwatch 2 a failure? Here's news.
What do you mean is Overwatch? Obviously. Everyone knows this. The only people who don't understand that Overwatch 2 is a failure are the same people who think that Diablo 4 is still successful and fun and whatnot. I mean, if you want to have fun, sure, but don't have the... If you're having fun, that's fine. But don't misunderstand, no one else likes it. And you are an absolute minority and you're objectively wrong for having fun. It is what it is.
That might offer some insight. Twice a year... Why won't it let me select this? There we go. Twice a year, Blizzard employees or employees at Blizzard receive bonus checks based on the financial success of their products. Each employee is given a target number and informed that they will receive a percentage contingent upon the company hitting its profits goals for the year. These profit sharing bonuses are an important part of Blizzard's compensation packages. For decades,
this is not an important part of the pay structure for employees, by the way. This is just a retention scam. How do I know? Because I support these things. All of this is literally just designed to keep people around the clock. This happens in a lot of industries, and let me explain how it works. You have a job position that doesn't have a great pay, but the instantaneous hook when you go to work there is, but there's bonus structures and payouts and blah blah blahs. And they essentially work like this. Do good enough, you get the bonus. But the catch is like this. You know, it's structured throughout the year. It's essentially made so you will never leave, even though your pay is actually not that great even with the bonus. It's just essentially, it works like this. When the year ends, you get your calculations, do you get the bonus? And that like takes, you know, a month or 2 or 3 maybe into the next year, and then you get paid out. And while you're getting paid out, you're already working for your next bonus, and you need to work X number of months in that year to get the bonus if you leave or something, okay? Or something along those lines. And then when you finally get to the middle part of the year, now you need to do something else to actually be eligible for more stuff. And this is just a constant chain of things where you need to wait a little bit longer to get that little bit of a small bonus, and people don't want to leave shitty jobs. This is how it's designed. I probably didn't explain it too well, but essentially it's just a non-stop chain of, oh, you're 2 weeks away from receiving X benefits, so you need to stay. Oh, you have received X benefits, but now you are eligible for X thing to X bonus. Well, now you need to wait until the middle of the year or end of the year to actually receive it, and things like that. It's all a giant scam, boys. It's all a giant and very well made scam, actually.
Prospective employees have been told that while the company does not pay base salaries as high as nearby competitors such as Riot Games, they make up for it through profit sharing from lucrative hits like World of Warcraft. Bonuses at Blizzard usually arrive in 2 chunks, one in August for the first half of the year and one in March for the second half of the previous year.
See?
In August 2020...
See, again, and to get these bonuses, you need to do X, achieve X, and then you need to work X amount of time so you actually get them. And if you leave, you don't get the bonuses and whatnot. Again, it's all just a giant scam to keep you working forever, because every single moment in time when you are thinking I'm about to leave, someone's gonna say, hey, but you're like 1 month away from getting this bonus or something like that. As a bad person, I think this system is beautiful.
23, Overwatch 2 team members...
And without question, abusive. It is one of the most abusive and well-made things in corporate history.
...were told that based on the game's poor financial performance in the first half of the year, they shouldn't have received anything. According to people familiar with what happened, who asked not to be named discussing non-public information, but that the company would cover some of their bonuses to make up for the shortfall. Then, earlier this month, the company informed developers that they would receive a stunning 0% of their bonus targets. Wow. Okay.
By the way, 0% of that bonus targets means that there is a chance. I might be wrong. This is complete speculation, but typically you need to achieve X to get the payout. But sometimes you can achieve an X amount of a maximum payout if you do a good enough job. This is, by the way, also completely abusive and made to prey on people, because the higher echelons of the achieve X are almost never achievable even. Well, they are achievable, and some absolute wonder child is gonna do it. But typically no one achieves them. They all are like, you know, in the, I don't know, 50, 60 percentile range or whatever. Again, all this is just corporate abuse. And it's very well designed in that matter.
Okay, so I'm trying to get my head through this, because if we look at it, so twice a year, employees at Blizzard receive bonus checks based on financial success of their products. Each employee is given a target number, okay? And these are for the previous period. Bonuses at Blizzard usually arrive in 2 chunks, one in August for the first half of the year, and one in March for the second of the previous year. This is what I'm worried about. Didn't the Le Seraphim come out at the previous, like the second half of last year? So that would be included in March's bonuses. So if they're paying no bonuses, are they saying the Seraphim didn't actually make them money when everybody thinks that this made them mega bang? What's going on here? This is odd.
That is a good question, honestly. I do not know the answer to that. I don't know if he's hinting at this or what exactly is here, but the situation is like this, you know, but when you work 1 month in a company, you don't get paid. You get paid the next month for the previous month and stuff like that, typically. And this is one of those situations. Does their March bonus actually apply to the previous year's second half of the year? Or how exactly is it structured? I don't know, and the structuring of that can be different. It can be just the past year, it can be this, it can be a chunk of it. We simply do not know.
This is really odd. Failing to get any profit share bonus is rare at Blizzard and is the result of a major policy change that was enacted in 2023. Previously, employees would receive bonuses based on the overall performance of the company. But last summer, these payouts became tied to the performance of each specific franchise, since their titles were more successful in 2023.
That's pretty good. I like that. No longer people can just mooch off of other successes, though. Which means Todd Ferguson is not getting a single dime, hopefully, for Diablo 4. I hope they sue him for destroying an IP.
Teams on games such as Diablo and World of Warcraft received bonuses, but Overwatch developers weren't so lucky. So this is a brutal change to the way Blizzard operates. So you've got to remember, they've got lower...
More responsibility for individual people. Bad.
salaries anyway. Blizzard have got a return to office policy as well. So if you're working in Irvine, it's extremely expensive to live there. Believe you me, it is mega expensive. So your base salary is low anyway, compared to what you get from competitors. Doesn't matter though, because it's going to get made up with a profit share, which is there to make the developers, I guess, make a better game in some ways. Obviously, it's a lot more complicated than that because of the way things are monetized and all of that stuff. But then for them to turn around and go, actually, you're not getting your profit share. I'm sure there's a lot of people that do depend on this, and this is built into like them being able to pay their rent and stuff like that. So this is like
probably
horrendous. But I suppose on like a purely cold and calculated sort of business level, you could say, yeah, it makes sense, doesn't it, to tie it to each franchise rather than the whole company in a cold-hearted, callous way. It doesn't.
No, it actually makes perfect sense. Again, you can't make a piece of shit and then say, oh, Candy Crush completely saved us with good profits, and then you get money because you're incompetent. That's kind of stupid.
The company's one unit, surely, so it should just all be banded together. Because then surely you would have a situation where people are like, nah, F that, I don't want to work on Overwatch, I want to go and work on World of Warcraft because I'm going to get my bonus.
Well, you can't just freely switch like... Well, in a giant organization, you can actually kind of switch from department to department, but that's not typically good. You know why? Not because you can't, but the department head of the other department knows your department head, because maybe they're enemies, which actually happens a lot. In big companies, departments are not actually working for the same goal of making companies money. They're working that their department does good. Otherwise, they're screwed, and they don't care about anyone else. So, the idea that X department is gonna give up someone good to another department in a giant company... Yeah, there's a chance that that doesn't happen because that's bad for other people. So, you know, it is what it is. Also, it makes other people look bad. Okay, there's gonna be... There's a lot of reasons you can't just freely do it. Now, maybe you can in other companies, but, you know, there are a lot of situations where this can actually backfire on you and get you fired even.
This policy change was the culmination of a decade-long battle between Blizzard and its parent company, Activision Blizzard. Leadership at Blizzard, including former presidents Mike Morhaime and J. Allen Brack, fought for the bonuses to be shared company-wide because they believed that otherwise everyone would want to work on the most successful games rather than experiment with new ideas, which is exactly right. Activision's, I mean...
Yeah, but this also gives an advantage for the higher-ups because, hey, if you have a game that's doing bad and someone wants to instantaneously dip out and go to the game that's doing good, chances are that person is trash.
And this just curtails, like, innovation, doesn't it? What a stupid policy. Activision's leadership, driven by former Chief Executive Officer Bobby, argued that those behind the most lucrative products should be rewarded the most. Of course they would.
Bobby! See, Bobby gets it. Bobby's a man of integrity. Bobby knows what's up. Bobby understands the world. Oh, he may be... Yes. Yes, Bobby's my spirit animal. Shut up.
Because that's Bobby's mentality.
Damn right, Bobby Kotick knows what's up. He understands that the best performance should be rewarded and trash should be swept under the rug.
It is one of several points of tension that led to a deterioration in the relationship between Blizzard and Activision. As I document in my upcoming book, Play Nice, The Rise and Fall of Blizzard Entertainment, last year, Kotick finally got his way just ahead of Microsoft's acquisition of the company for $69 billion. So you've got to ask yourself, why would Bobby even care at that point? You know, he knows he's selling the company. Why would he care? You know, he's like, it's crazed, isn't it? Oh, my days. Anyway, Blizzard's new president, Johanna Faries, who came from Activision...
Bobby's not selling the company.
...has told employees that she's looking into the details of the profit-sharing plan, as well as other unpopular policies involving stack ranking and remote work, but has not made any decisions yet as she settles into a new role. Okay. So at least the new boss is sort of looking at it, but yeah, nothing has been sort of said in just yet. Anyway, the lack of payout reflects the...
Okay, I think we're done with the profits because this is absolutely boring, obviously. So let's get to the good PvE stuff.
Here, Overwatch 2 received a paid pack of 3 PvE story missions that sold poorly, according to people.
Yeah, of course they sold poorly. Imagine, you can, for $10 you can buy 2 missions that have no replay value and each are 5 minutes long. It sold poorly. Really? Who would have expected that the shit product sells poorly? I would have never.
Familiar with the business, which was a major reason for the cratering bonuses. In January, as part of a company-wide reduction in its workforce, the majority of the team behind Overwatch 2's PVE was laid off. Now, this...
To be fair, I have to say one thing. I'm not surprised PVE failed, because think about it. Overwatch's PVE initial design idea concept was, we're gonna tell the stories of our heroes. But then you actually rub your eyes a little bit, splash some water on your face and realize, wait a minute. The whole cast of Overwatch is just kind of token diversity hires without personalities. And that's true. You cannot deny this. Think about it. We have D.Va. Her main personality trait is that she's a gamer girl. What kind of magical story are you gonna tell about D.Va? What is her backstory? Oh, I play computer games. I'm a streamer. The only special thing about her is that she maybe doesn't have a link to her OF in her streaming site, okay? That's the only special thing about Lucio. I like music. He likes music. He likes music. That's such a unique story. Oh, and he's black. I'm sure the story would be more about him honestly being black than him liking music because woke Blizzard, obviously. But still, imagine you have to write a story about a guy whose main character trait is he likes music. But wait, if you thought that's bad, think about something like this. Reinhardt. Reinhardt doesn't even have a personality. His fucking whole existence is a German accent. That's it. He doesn't even have a personality. He just has a German accent. That is his defining trait. There's nothing else about him. Reinhardt is literally just a German accent. You can't even make anything about that. It's pathetic. What are you gonna... Oh, you're gonna go into his Germanic roots? Okay. What are you gonna do? Make a story about how Reinhardt likes playing Forklift Simulator when he's off work? And when he's not playing Forklift Simulator to pretend he's working, he's looking at the clock patiently waiting until he has to go to work? What stories are we telling here? Most of the Overwatch roster is as generic and as boring it can possibly be. They were just made relatable cardboard napkin wash-up personalities so people can say, hey, yeah, I like music. Hey, yeah, I have a Germanic accent. That's it. There is no story to tell about these one-dimensional, non-existent characters. Tracer's whole personality literally got recreated to I'm gay and have no ass any longer. Like, what are we... What kind of stories can you tell about these heroes? They're as boring as washed up as they can be, honestly. The only interesting thing lore-wise about Overwatch is technically the world. That's it. But the characters themselves... I don't want to know their backstories because how lame they are.
Yeah, I mean, obviously, this didn't do well. This was not... It was not good. I mean, I cannot sit here and go, oh, well, no, it should have sold well. It was not good. It was not a good experience. You cannot blame the individual developers for that. I mean, it's whoever is in charge of the vision, the direction of that is to blame. We've seen comments recently where people were saying stuff like, oh, don't worry about it. You know, things will be fine. It'll be great. Just we'll keep working on this. Don't worry about it. Yeah, I mean, obviously, no. Anybody with, any sort of external perspective would have looked at the PVE and thought, this is dated. This is not a great experience. And is it really Overwatch? What have we got here? And it just wasn't. So it doesn't really come as a surprise that it sold poorly. I think what is sad is we won't ever really get the sort of chance to see where it could have gone. But it's basically done now. It's gone. PVE is just consigned to the history of Overwatch as a game. PvP game now, so we need to just forget about PvE. I still think it is cool, though, well, it's not cool for the people involved, but it's interesting to sort of dissect how we got here, because it is it's fascinating, really. Fascinating story, to be honest, in a lot of, like, sad ways. Anyway, Overwatch 2 developers were informed that the company does not plan to finish any of the remaining planned PvE content and will instead double down on competitive player versus player gameplay. Again, this comes as no...
I like it. So, from one failing aspect of the game that no one liked but could be salvageable with a little bit more effort, honestly, to the completely no one cares about aspect of the game, the PvP part. And competitive, by the way. Now, the PvP... Dude, just concentrate on normal average players. Overwatch 2 is technically dead, but there's still a lot of people actually playing it on a daily basis. Well, not a super huge amount. The glory days are absolutely over and they wash them out themselves. But, there's still a lot of people doing it.
No surprise, but basically PvE is officially gone from Overwatch 2. It is not a thing that we're going to get in the game ever. In a statement, Blizzard spokesman Andrew Reynolds said that last year the company began focusing on the foundational team-based experience, building the game alongside our players and more quickly addressing their feedback, which they have done, to be fair. Look at the Mauga hotfix which hit the game recently. That was really fast, and they are working well in that regard. Decisions like these are in service to our community and based on the feedback, which is also good for our business and the future of the game. He said, adding that the game is on track to reach 100 million lifetime players and that they are exploring new experiences, big and small, which will push the frontiers of the Overwatch universe. Okay. Despite the game's shaky performance...
Yeah, just a bunch of fancy talk with actual no meaning behind it, obviously.
So far, there is optimism among some members of the Overwatch 2 team that this refocus on PvP will lead to a turnaround, although Blizzard will need to ensure that the missing bonuses and low morale don't drive away key staff before then. I mean, this is a problem they've had a lot for a hell of a long time, really, Blizzard. Like, they're losing a lot of, I guess I can say it this way, but institutionalized talent.
What institutionalized talent? They should lose more of it. Again, I just need to look at Diablo 4. Todd Ferguson and his team of absolute morons. They have made bad decision after bad decision after bad decision. They're not talent. They're poison. And they should be removed. Same with the Overwatch team, probably. Same with almost every team that works on their games, probably. Again, Blizzard is a very concrete example of the devs are shit at their job. It's not the higher-ups. It wasn't Bobby Kotick. It's just the devs themselves are complete talentless buffoons. Same with Bethesda, same with Ubisoft. People just go work there, then they move to another place. They're the same people who ruined games previously and so on. I mean, look at Todd Ferguson. The guy killed Halo, and then he got a job at killing Diablo 4. The gaming industry in America is the granddaddy of ineptitude and getting rewarded for ineptitude. It's nepto babies essentially. The whole industry is just a giant windmill of trash falling in certain positions, and then they fall into different positions to ruin stuff. That's what it is. It's sad.
Well, there's pros and cons to that, but basically you're losing a lot of experience. You know, imagine losing somebody who had integral knowledge to maybe the way the Overwatch engine works, or how to implement a certain thing. Maybe like, I don't know, console certification, you know, or something like that, right? Imagine there was something.
There's no way that happens in good companies. Things like this don't happen in good companies. I can tell you this as a fact. This is impossible, okay? In good companies, if you have a person who specializes in the engine or whatnot, they are supposed to make guides with fucking pictures like you're a 5-year-old, so even they can do the basic stuff and understand the basic key functions that need to be done. And then they just also teach other people to do this. When they go, because when these people go on vacation, there's supposed to be someone who stands in for them, and they're supposed to know how to do the job. That's how the world functions. The idea that someone can just leave from a company and then the company collapses because no one knows how that is done is literally Twitter before Elon Musk took over, honestly. That's the best example, because Twitter actually was a shit show like that. Elon Musk was just firing people left, right, and center, and then it was like, wait, what do you mean? No one knows how to do these things. How? How is that even a... Oh, man. Dude, that was a great moment, because if you thought that was bad, you don't know, you don't understand things about business, because it should be covered. That... Only in the worst and smallest businesses do you can have a situation when someone can get fired and then everything collapses because no one knows what the fuck is going on now or how to do it. Okay? And if that's Blizzard's problem, that just proves that they're complete garbage.
Like that, which was integral to the game, and then you just lose it. And you can't replace that. It takes years. Even
you can replace that pretty easily, in fact.
If you find it...
Everyone's very replaceable, by the way.
An incredible developer that you want to bring on board and go, you know what, we're going to bring these people on board and they're going to be fantastic. Yeah, but it takes time for them to get up to speed. It's just years of lost stuff. So I think that's pretty much it, guys. Like, PVE is finished now. There is no PVE for Overwatch. It's just a
Good. There was never supposed to be any PVE for Overwatch anyway. Anyway, that was stylosa. Oh, man, that's so funny. That is so funny. Anyway, this was Quizzer Sid saying thanks for watching. Subscribe if you haven't already, and have a nice day. Bye-bye.